so I am moving on to the next step of the project, and that is sorting out all the electrics. I'm going to use this bit of wood for my like fuse board, where all the main stuff's going to be bolted to. It's all going to sit on there, on that wall. The batteries, I'm going to get in them proper battery trays so they don't move. This wiring and split charger where it will be linked to the engine battery, so it will charge these batteries when the engine's running, but when the engine is not on, this smart split charger will isolate those batteries from the engine so that doesn't go flat, and I'll always have charge in there. And I've got the roof lights on already. I've got an additional light on here, so when you come inside the back of the van at night in the dark, that light will be on so you'll be able to see. So I just got another one off eBay that's the same, and just put that in there. So yep, let's begin. First thing I'm going to do is link the engine battery to this. So I'm going to run the cable, and then once it's through and run nice and neat, I'll get the batteries in place, going to get them on the roof, and then organise it on my fuse board. Okay, so step one is done. Linked to the battery. I've got it going to the bulkhead with the fuse in it, and then it goes through the bulkhead. I've used a factory hole for the wiring harness, so I don't have to cut anything. I'm going to bolt that in last so it doesn't, so I don't risk any arcing out or anything like that. So I'm just going to leave that there for now. And then on the inside, just taking all the books out, and then it comes through nice and neatly. So I'm going to be running it along like the center console, and then on the way to the batteries. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need some more, so I'm glad I've got some extra cable. So I'm going to cut this joint off and make some new up, and then get it mounted in the back of the batteries. Okay, so progress. I've got the battery cable from the engine. It's gone all the way under here behind these trims to the two main batteries. I've got the battery trays on, and that's all bolted down nice. I've got my fuse board up, so now I'm going to start linking the batteries together and start getting the fuse box, split charger, and this earth strap all on the board, and try and make it as neat as possible. I've got my fuse board layout pretty much exactly how I want it, and basically what's going to happen is the positive terminals from each battery is going to go up through these two fuses and then to my split charger. Now anything that I'm going to use off these batteries will join after these two fuses, so if anything ever does go wrong, these will pop, and then the batteries will be separate from any issues. My fuse box, I'm going to have that wired in at the isolator after these, so anything that could possibly go wrong on that end, that will pop those fuses. I'm basically just trying to make the system as safe and reliable as possible. I've spent probably the last hour just sat here staring at this board and batteries, thinking, right, how am I going to wire it and what I'm going to do. Then I've got this for my solar panels. I'm going to probably install them at a later date, because all I really need to do with these is just earth them on my earth board and then put one of these to the positive batteries. So it doesn't matter if I put it to this battery or this battery, because they will be linked at the smart charger. So it doesn't matter which way I put that, it'll charge both batteries. And yeah, I got these, where did I put them? Yeah, it's a bit of a mess here. I got like these pre-made wires and all this kit that I've used from start to finish, and to be honest, I wish I never bothered. I wish I'd have just bought a reel and then made my own joins, because that's what I've ended up doing anyway, because they're not quite, it's all a custom made job, so ordering a kit online can't ever really get you exactly what you want. So if anyone's going to do this, just order a reel and then get this little kit of different size terminals, and that, I think that was a tenner, and then you can get a reel for like sort of 20 quid, 30 quid. So it's probably better and easier just to make it yourself. So now I think I'm just going to take these wires off, and I'm probably going to carpet over the back of that and then put all the wires on afterwards. And when it comes to the earths, I've got this bolt hole here, which is quite a decent earth. But the thing I'm thinking of, I've got to earth both of these batteries, and I've got that kit to earth from. So I don't think I'm going to use just one. I think there's another, like a bolt hole down here, like an anchor point. I think I'm going to use a couple of earths just to spread the load. So again, if there's ever an issue with that, I'm going to have multiple earths to cover me, and that should make the system more reliable. I'm pretty much finished at that. I've got everything I've got going on right now all wired up and done. The actual switchboard for the lights and stuff, I'm not actually going to wire up yet until I've got all the cabinets and stuff in, so I know everything's going. So for now, these white cables here are just for the lights on the ceiling. I've got them all earthed and ground in there with the fuse, so I'll have a cable that comes out of there to the switch and then back to the lights. So for now, guys, this is pretty much how it all looks. And as you can see on here, that's 12.4 volts. That's the voltage of the battery in the engine bay, and then here we've got 12.1, which is these two. So if I go over here and turn the van on, so you can hear it. You can hear it clicking in. So there, 14.4, and then that switches on and starts putting voltage into here. Well, to the batteries, but you can read the voltage for these batteries because when I've got my solar panels in, this is directly linked to them too. So there, it works. The split charger works. And then when you turn it off, the split charger will then click off and stop feeding these two batteries, so you can see the difference there. I'm pretty happy with the progress so far. Managed to get all of that knocked out. Other electric stuff like the fridge, the solar panels, I'm going to probably get a diesel night heater as well. I'm going to wire all that lot up when the counter's in, so I'll know exactly what lengths and where stuff's going, basically. So for electrics wise, that's pretty much about it, but that's the basic sort of setup. But from there, all you're doing is linking it to the fuse box and then you're good to go. And the other thing that has turned up is my rock and roll bed for the van. Now, I've had one custom made for these vans because the roofs are slightly shorter. So I'll give you guys a tour of that now before the next video.